Hi there, I'm Lorna Reeves and welcome to your tutorial today in how to set up your Zoom meeting for your training session. Now today we're going to be working in the Zoom platform on your laptop or desktop device. Now it's much easier to work in this particular field as you have access to the full functionality. So let's take a look. You can work in the mobile device but you don't see things like this. So the Zoom desktop, you will see the login button. You're going to go ahead and click that and it will take you to a login screen. So enter your email address and password that you used at setup. That will take you on through to your account. Now here, this is your main account button and it usually appears. Don't be frightened if you get something like this screen because your account button will appear in the top corner. There it is right there, this account button. So this is what you'll get when you log in for the first time. Now you'll notice if you're basic license, you'll have 100 people that are invited to your meeting at any one time, and you can change your profile picture. Now I advise you go ahead and do that and either put in your logo of your company or a picture for you. This means when you pop your camera off in the meeting, this is the image that pops up rather than just being a black image with your name. It's something that's representative and represents you. So for the meeting, you're going to go ahead to Meetings button on the left hand side. And this is the interactive space where you can set up, you can amend and you can edit meetings. So we're going to go ahead and schedule a new meeting. Here you can put in something meaningful in the title because this information gets pulled to a lot of different areas. There we go, let's put that in, my bark. Here you can select the date, when you want it to be, and you can select the time. Remember it says AM and PM. Now it's really important that you almost book your slot, so be generous with the amount of time that you need. Make sure you book this time as the time that you want your delegates to join. Now you can start a meeting slightly earlier if you want to do sound checks and video testing, or you want to check your slides. This is the time that will be sent on confirmations to your delegates, so it's really important you set that as the time you want your meeting to start and you want your delegates to join. We are going to have host video enabled and the participant video enabled. We want to make our sessions as interactive as possible, so it's really important you include those. And ideally save yourself some work and mute participants on entry, so as soon as they land in your room they're automatically muted. This really helps for not having to control everybody in the room or not getting feedback or a dog barking or kids crying. It just makes your immersion experience much more beneficial. So when you're happy with that, you can go ahead and save. Just to point out that you should have your waiting room activated and always have a passcode for your meetings. These are minimum standard security measures and I really recommend you take them up. So let's go ahead and save that. Now you can automatically add it to your Google Calendar or your Outlook calendar so you can send it to others should you want to. This is your Zoom link. Now in days gone by it used to be the Zoom handle with the 9-digit code, but they realise that's far too easy to guess and people can end up in your room accidentally. So what they've done now is that passcode that's here, they've embedded that in a bit of coding along here. So it's really difficult to guess and for somebody to end up in your room that shouldn't be there. So it's an extra layer of security for you. When you want to send people your meeting invitation, you press the copy invitation button and you'll get something like this. The bit I mentioned to you earlier where it said it pulls in the title automatically, it's just there. You've obviously got your date and time and the time that you want your delegates to arrive. There's your meeting link. If somebody's inputting manually and they don't have access to the link, it's always useful to include the ID code and the passcode if you're sending this directly to your participants. Never ever put a link or the meeting ID and passcode anywhere that it can be found. So don't just put it on an intranet site and say join our meeting today. You want to send it directly to delegates. You don't want this information getting into the hands of anybody that's not invited to the meeting. I have mine set up for US at the moment, but you also have the change in your profile that you're UK, and this will generate a UK number, and so anyone can join directly by mobile phone if they want to. So when I'm sending my email to my participants, I just take this piece, obviously with the UK number, and I copy and paste into the email that I'm inviting them, or the appointment in Outlook. Now what happens when you set up your meeting and you realise that you've put the wrong time in? Super straightforward. All you're going to do is come back to the meetings page where you've now got your meeting set up. You're going to click into the blue hyperlink and you're going to scroll down to edit this meeting, and there you can go ahead and edit any of the details that we had access to before. When it's the day of your event, maybe I recommend 15 to 20 minutes before your session, you're going to come into this platform and you're going to start the meeting. And that will open up the Zoom window that's loaded onto your desktop and allow you to start, and will allow you to control the meeting directly, and we'll cover that in our next tutorial, what happens when you're inside the Zoom space. But yeah, I'm going to start that from right here. We're also going to talk through recordings and settings in the third tutorial. So it's really important that you have your security settings correct, and you can save yourself a lot of time and effort having your recording setting set up correctly. So that's it for now. That's how to set up and send the meeting invitations to your participants. Thanks for joining me.